This pub tour has a slight difference compared to the pub tours we've done before. Included in this one are large beer gardens, flowers and green spaces, quite a bit different to some of our city tours, but not necessarily better since, as Neil says, beer is king. And if beer's not to our liking, then, well, neither is the pub. Having met up at the Coffee Cup Café just down from Hampstead tube station, we feasted on a good breakfast to start the day off. It's always fantastic meeting up with Neil as we go back such a long way, and there's always so much to catch up on. Our next target location is the King William, right along the high street, just a few steps down from the cafe. A couple of directors from Courage begin our selection for today.
We're going to go left.
You're number one.
That's all right. What are directors? Directors. We love it. Directors. That's proper directors.
It is early in the afternoon, so the pub's quiet. I don't know the history behind the place, but clearly there is some sort of link with the site and lots of famous folk. Photographs with short bios are hanging all around parts of the walls.
Next to Rosslyn.
Cheers.
Out from the centre of Hampstead, Neil is taking us on an adventure down Rosslyn Hill all the way to the George.
Looking out for the George here, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a pub that we're going to like. I'm not sure about the beer at all, but we'll have a look. It's just here. I don't know where Neil's gone. He's disappeared.
This place looks quite large from the outside, but inside it's even more spacey. Abbot's this time from Green King. Nice.
Oh, that's all right. Like a bit of Abbot. A bit cold.
It is too cold.
It's a bit cold.
Neil and I were work colleagues over 20 years ago. He's a youngster compared to me though, obviously. He now lives on the east side of London and I'm out the west side. We meet up in London a few times a year as well as for our trekking adventures too.
So we're still a bit of a hike.
The bar staff have a sense of humour with their swing tags hanging from some of their pumps. None left. No more. And empty. Clever.
This is Robert Johnson, the 27 Club. The legendary blues guitarist. Joplin, Jimi Hendrix and Brian Jones. And Kurt Cobain. Robert Johnson, a legend.
This place is very large inside, but the space is divided up and furnished in a way to create smaller spaces, ideal for sitting and enjoying a pint.
So what are we counting? This is 2.
Peace, brother.
Peace, yeah, peace, yeah. This is number 2. We're kind of through it already a little bit, but it is number 2. Cheers. Or is it 2? Is it B?
Cheers.
Is it B or 2? We're going to go with 2 or B? A, B, C, D.
Let's do B.
But we get to like E and F, we won't know how many that is.
Not 5. Has come. Maybe a bit salty.
Out the George, there's just a short walk along to Tito's. Now, I wouldn't normally dive into this sort of place, not on a Saturday afternoon anyway. It's a bar rather than a pub, but not dissing it at all. The atmosphere inside is lovely. We're welcomed and use the upstairs balcony area. I can imagine this venue becomes very busy and a target as a go-to place in the evening especially.
Hello.
Up at the bar, the telephone on the side has an old-fashioned pull-out list of direct dial codes. Back in these days, these codes were needed when dialing a number. I'm old enough to remember these sorts, of course.
They're selling bottles in the Calvin Twip. I went to see Paul last time. Open do a good 60. I like open. And because you know what you're getting, because it's 10 years. As soon as you do a name.
Our beers are selected off the extensive list, but as might be expected, they're not a traditional dark ale, not in the strictest of senses. But they make a nice change. It's just a shame I can't remember what they're called.
I like the glass. You like the glass? He disappeared to the toilet. Didn't give anyone. Best Teddy ever had. Day one. If I was having a meal, I would quite happily have pints.
The Stag is next, which is technically in Belsize Park, I think, and it's a bit of a walk eastish. The dark, rather imposing outside facade complements the style inside in part, but there's lots of bright colour spaces out back.
So this is number, well, we've lost count, haven't we, actually? This is number 4. Yeah, cheers.
We have a couple of very dark ales for a change, but I can't remember what they're called though.
And you think you're queuing up to see it, inside it.
In the afternoon, with the lovely weather, it was getting a bit busy in the beer garden. Lots of space to sit and relax though, and the food looks really good. Okay, moving on, we next head out northwest up Fleet Road towards Hampstead Heath. The garden gate is just before the tube station. Now then, it's a bit odd that Neil and I have pints of Butty Bach here in London. That's what we almost always have at the Skirrid Inn in South Wales. There's a kind of, in our minds, an association with that beer and our trekking weekend starting out on the Friday with a pint at the Skirrid. Whatever, we like it and have a couple of pints here this afternoon.
There is that. Apologies. So,
No, not doing
happy birthday, Joe! Yeah, cheers. Cheers.
By the time you see this video, it won't be Joe's birthday, but here, on this day in London, Neil and I toast to your birthday, Joe. Like many of the pubs we've explored here in the Hampstead area, this bar too has a large beer garden out the back. We can't stay here all afternoon, so on we go again. Neil is in charge of the list as always. The Magdala is next, a little north of Hampstead Tube, right near the southern tip of Hampstead Heath. A traditional real ale this time, a Sussex best. We're keeping going though, interrupting our chatter by leaving our empty glasses on the bar and moving on to the next location.
You can't do it 6. You can do it. We've lost count. We've actually lost count of how many this is, but we think it's 6. It might be 7. I think it's actually 6. Let's go with 6.
Are you keeping up with us? Do you know these lovely pubs? And if so, do please comment and share your views on the drinks, the bars and the food in the ones you know. And if you like the videos here, our vlog record of our adventure, how about a thumbs up like as well?
Thank you.
Would you? Fortune?
Well,
What fortune?
well, I wouldn't have one, but if I lived here, I'd have a fortune to spend.
The light is just going, and I really like this time in the afternoon. We continue north a little more and find the Freemasons Arms.
It's on the list. Yep.
This is a large, starkly white building, and it's quite at a contrast to some of the others that we've seen today.
No.
Grabbing pints of doom this time, we sit back in the comfy seats and think about food again.
Yeah. So what's this one? Number 7. Doing well. Gin. That's alright. Doom bar. Doom's alright.
I would get this 6 out of 10.
As with most of the places we go to, we consider whether we like the beer, the bar area and any other spaces we see around. I really like this pub, but Neil didn't rate it as high as me. We like these discussions, and sometimes we agree and sometimes we don't. Outside is white and maybe a little bit plain, but inside it has a warm and vibrant atmosphere, and getting busy now this afternoon. I ordered some food and then took a wander around the bar and restaurant area, and then out the back to see the large beer garden there as well.
I got mushy peas, you're right with mushy peas? Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
With the evening now really kicking in, we leave the Freemasons and head a little further northwest to the Wells Tavern. All these locations are on Neil's list. We don't know ahead of our visit whether we're going to stay, as if the beer's not what we fancy, we leave.
That's not a hill.
That's not a hill. It's Hampstead Hill. That is a hill.
Got a couple of holidays here. That's easy. I could live here in London. Good man. We're sorted. Table's free.
Not had a glowfly before, but it was good. Slightly lighter than some that we would choose, but not at all like an IPA, so good for us. The building is a bit TARDIS-like, larger on the inside than what it looks like it should be on the outside. Time is now pushing on and we are running tight for time. Both of us have significant distances to travel back home and we can't risk missing the last train connections. Leaving the Wells, we step out quickly as possible back to the centre of Hampstead and stop at the Flask.
Is the one?
Time is against us, and by the time we had our drinks, it was really time to skip to the tube station and dash on home. Well, there'll be more of these pub tours by Neil and I. Take care out there and see you the next time by the bar. Thanks for watching and bye for now.